Very, very interesting story on how a person is created. So he says the following. Ketzad Kishabara Kodesh Baruch Hu Tzalama, when God created his world, he created Adam and Chava, and he created the ability for a woman to conceive and to have children. So he says like this. Shekol HaNeshamais, all the souls, Shahayu Min Adam Arishon, from Adam, from Adam Arishon, until Mashiach comes, until the end of the world, Kulam Nivru B'Sheshes Mehab Reishis. There are no new souls. There are no new souls. They were all created in the 6 days of creation. V'Kulam B'Gan Eden, and they all were in Gan Eden. V'Kulam Hayu B'Matan Torah, and everybody was at Matan Torah. Okay. So he says the following. At the moment that a man is with his wife, Roimeis HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'malach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God signals to an angel, Hamamuna, his job is Al Herayon, on pregnancy. Ushmo, and the name of this angel is Layla, night. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Amalo, and God says to him, Zda, I want you to know, Shazu halayla, this night, Neitza Adam Mizera Pliny, we're going to create a human being from this man. Dalacha, you should know, V'hishama Bezu Atipa, you are chosen to watch this child. V'tol Oisa B'kabcha, and put it in your palm. I guess this is on a spiritual level. And cut it into 365 pieces. And he does this. Miyad, immediately, the malach, the angel, he brings this little thing to God, to the one who created the world. And the malach says, the angel says to Hashem, I did everythhin you told me to do. So the malach asks God, every one of us that's in this room, every human being that's in the world. The malach asks Hashem, what's going to happen with this? Miyad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, immediately God goes there, he decrees alatipa on this child. Ma'yeh b'seifa, what's it going to be? Im zachar, it's going to be a boy. Im nekeva, it's going to be a girl. Im chalosh, if it's going to be weak. Im gibor, it's going to be strong. Im ani, if it's going to be poor. Im asher, it's going to be rich. Im katzer, if it's going to be short. Oy oirach, or it's going to be tall. Im mechayar, if it's going to be ugly. Oy nar, it's going to be beautiful. Oy ava, oy dak, if it's going to be heavy or it's going to be skinny. Im bazoi, oy gas. V'chein geiz kol koraisav, and Hashem decrees on all the abilities of this child. Aval, but im tzaddik, im rasha, if this person is going to be good or bad, lo. There, Hashem doesn't interfere. That is put into the hand. That is our bechira, as it says in the pasuk. Hashem says, today, the day you're born, I give you the choice of life and good, or death and bad. Okay. Miyad, immediately, Ramaz HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God signals, he calls the malach, that his job is he takes care of the spirits. So far the malach, the other malach actually brought the physical. Now Hashem calls the malach that takes care of the spirit. V'amalai, Hevelei ruach ploni, bring me the spirit of this person, Shehu b'Gan Eden, the spirits in Gan Eden, Sheshmo ploni, this is his name. All the spirits that are going to come into this world, they were all created when the world was created. And they're all set up that each person has a different ruach. Miyad halach malach, right away the malach comes, who maybe it's a ruach from the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he brings the ruach. Ukisha ruach ba, when the spirit comes, miyad kor mishtach lifnei melech elokim, it bows down in front of God. Oisa Shah, that moment, Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ruach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to the Spirit, He kansi b'tipazu shebiyad plini. I want you now, Spirit, to go in to this seed that's in the hand of the Malach. Pasaf haruach piv amalufanav. So the Ruach says to Hashem, the Spirit says to Hashem, Ribono shel olam, God, daili ha'olam she'isi dami yom she'persani. I'm happy in Gan Eden, where I'm living. Why do you want to put me in this putrid drop? Sha'ani kedushak tahara. I'm holy. V'ani gezura migizras kvedecha, and I'm part of you. I don't want to go into the world. Miyad amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'neshama. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to each one of our souls, Olam shani michnisach b'ay, the world that I'm sending you down to, Yafa, it's beautiful. Yehela mimasha yisadarabah. It's a beautiful world, and you can do very well there. And I only created you. Don't tell me you want to stay in Gan Eden. I only created you to be in this person. So what do you tell me you want to stay in Gan Eden? But the spirit still doesn't want to go into the body. It doesn't want to become physical. So Hashem doesn't give it a choice. Hashem doesn't give it a choice. Miyad machnisa HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'sham bal kocha. Hashem puts the spirit into the human seed by force. So the first malach now takes this ruach, this spirit, and puts it into the womb of the mother. And every person in the womb has two angels. And they watch him. That he shouldn't leave. And that she shouldn't lose the child. And there's a spiritual light on every baby, on the head of every baby in the mother's womb. Okay? Umabed, and this little baby in the mother's womb, he sees from one end of the world to the other. So now the malach takes this baby from there. So each one of us, before we came to this world, each one of us saw Gan Eden, because each one of us, of our souls, together with this body, were taken to Gan Eden. And Hashem shows us, Umar le'at tzadikim yoshvim v'chavad. He shows us all the tzadikim that are sitting in Gan Eden. And the malach says to the person's spirit, Teda lecha mihem elu. Do you know who these people are that you see in Gan Eden? Amalei haruach. So the spirit says, Lo Adoni. I don't know who they are. The malach tells him, Halalu sha'ateroya. These tzadikim in Gan Eden that you see, Noitru b'tchila k'maischa. They were also created before like you. B'seich mei imam. They were also in the mother's womb. V'yatzal ha'olam. And they went into the world. V'shamu Torah mitzvos. And they got off their cell phones. And they kept Torah mitzvos. Doesn't say that here, but. Therefore, they are now sitting in Gan Eden. Dalacha, you should know, he says to this neshama, to our neshama, that you're also going to go into the world. If you're lucky and you have this chus, and you listen to the Torah, one day you're going to sit with all of them in Gan Eden. But he says, but if not, you should know that you're going to end up sitting somewhere else. They wait till at night, till the evening. They take this ruach to Gehenna, and they show them the Rishon, the bad people, that the Malachei HaChabbalah are hitting them with whips of fire. And they're screaming vai vai. There's no pity on them. So the Malach says to the ruach, do you know who they are? I don't know my master. These are the ones that are burning. They were also created like you. And they went into the world. And they didn't listen to the Torah. That's why they're so embarrassed. You should know. You're coming to the world. They have a tzaddik. Please be a tzaddik. Don't be a rasha. And you're going to have the schus to come to Olam Haba. Okay? Now he goes on and he says following unbelievable. You should know that before you leave your mother's womb, that you're the child of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem tells him this. Hashem tells every neshama, remember who your tati is. I am your tati. So before you leave your mother's womb, remember, B'noi Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are the son of God. Ki Ken Yisrani K'may Avshim Yasvez B'nai. Hashem gives us Musar the way a father gives his child Musar. Okay? Ulekach ala kol mazhir HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem warns all of us. And the Malach takes each neshama, and he shows each neshama where the places that he's going to die, and where they're going to be buried. He takes them through the whole world. He shows them the tzaddikim and the risham, and he shows them everybody. And at night, in the evening, they bring him back to the womb. And Hashem, in the mother's womb, gives him everything that he needs, his pipes, his food, his veins, his bones, whatever he needs. And this baby is in its mother's stomach womb for 9 months. Interesting. The first 3 months, he lives on the bottom of the womb. In the second 3 months, he lives in the middle of the womb. At the end, he ends up in the top of the womb. We'll skip all the little... So at the end, he says, it's now your time to come to the world. So now, the baby says to the malach that's in the stomach, why do you want to put me into the world? My son, that you're forced to be created, and you're forced to be born, and you're forced to die, as we say in the Mishnah. And they put out the light on top of his head, and they bring him into the world. And at that point, immediately, he forgets everything. So this is an interesting medrash. He says, why does the baby cry? He cries because he left this place on such a high level, on such a spiritual level, and now he's come to this level. And then he goes into a lot of Kabbalah things. And in the end, he says that a person has a chance, and that's why I'm telling you this story, that a person has a chance to come back to the next world and to be on a much higher level than he was even in Gan Eden. We are all in this world, and we're all saying that we want to go to Gan Eden. And meanwhile, the Medrash is saying that if you do what you're supposed to do in this world, you're much greater than when you were in Gan Eden. When you say thank you to someone and you make them smile, and when you do something and you help someone, which I'm going to read you a fantastic story, and you help somebody, then you can't do that in the next world. In the next world, you can't do chesed. You can't make a bracha. You can't say bracha to Hashem. You can't make a bracha on an apple, on a flower. You can't do kibbut of ein. You can't call your mother. You can't help her set the table. Oy, to see a mother smile. To make a mother smile. Oy, what a mitzvah. You can't do that in the next world. You also can't aggravate him in the next world. You probably still could aggravate him in the next world. So in the next world, we're stuck. In this world, every moment, every second, you can make a bracha, you can do a mitzvah, you can make someone smile.